Welcome back everyone to my EA Sports Madden backlog series. Before I go any further, please click on the subscription icon and notification bell so that you can stay informed of when a new video has been posted. Now, let's get started. Today's video is one of two that will cover audibles. In this video, I will be covering the Hail Mary audible issue. Okay, I'm in Madden 25 and I'm going to demonstrate the first and original Hail Mary issue. As you can see, I'm dealing with a playbook that is custom. That's going to be the key thing right here. So we're going to go with that. And when the load screen is finished with all the Madden 25 anniversary advertisement, what I will show you is back then when you did custom playbooks, depending on your timing of when you deleted and inserted shotgun plays, your plays were wrongly designated. So if I look at this, let's say right here you've got what is known as single back, special teams, you got goal line, right? You have your gun plays. You notice there are only 2 gun plays in there. If you go one more over, you're in Hail Mary category. So now you've got ace slots, everything that would normally be under gun now listed under Hail Mary. And that was a problem because when you're coming to make a quick play selection, you normally think of gun, you would come here and then it's like, oh no, it's in Hail Mary, so you have to go here. The other problem is that if you don't have those 2 plays memorized, spread might be easier to memorize, wide trips, halfback, weak may not. You might find yourself going to Hail Mary and saying to yourself, oh no, it's not in here. If you notice, the spread halfback week is in here, but the spread itself is not. So it had to deal with the timing. I can't remember exactly what it was because it's been about 8, 9 versions back. But you can see the problem here. This should not have even been released in the game, but they did. And I don't think they corrected this for about maybe between 15 and 17 maybe. Somewhere around there. They may have corrected that. But let me show you what happens out on the field. You choose a play, doesn't matter what this is, and you go for your play. There you see you have your gun trips, your gun wide trips, halfback weak. It's gun formation. Now, gun category. Now everything becomes, with the exception of spread, is going to be Hail Mary designation. So now you got Hail Mary normal, Hail Mary try open. I think that's try open Cowboys if I'm correct. Hail Mary trio, Hail Mary split flex. These are all gun designated plays, but they've been designated as Hail Mary just because of the way or timing of your adding plays into a custom playbook. So you can see that could be a problem. Now, Workarounds, I'm sure everybody can think of workarounds, but you should not have to do that. You're paying whatever amount of money this cost back then to what you're paying now. You're not paying to work around all of these issues that's in this game. And this game is plagued with plenty of issues. This is just a history behind the Hail Mary and calling audibles in the game. Now, let me show you this as well.
Over 50.
If you were to call a Hail Mary play, and you choose something like this,
Under 180. Tiger.
do you notice there are no audibles for that Hail Mary? Keep that in mind. There are no audibles for this Hail Mary. Now, I would love to be able to go back and show you through this a little bit more, but it's not available. Now, I can't remember if this wasn't available back then or if an update was required, and more than likely it's probably not available anymore. So let's move on to our current system, which is Madden 22. Here we have Madden 22. This is a default playbook. So we're going to go with that. And of course the load is going to be faster than the other one. Here you will notice if we go to, let's go with wide trips again. Just go with a random play, doesn't matter. Begin to call your audibles, we'll scroll through them. Use a single back. There's gun category. All gun. And we're back to wide trips. So there was no Hail Mary designation in that scroll for audibles. When you bring up this screen again, I want you to take a look at the play order. The first play that comes up is wing type. You don't see ace until it's so many over. This is important for you to realize what I'm trying to show you here. This is wing type. That's the first play you go to single back. Okay? And before I open up the other playbook, let me show you something I can show you in this pause screen that I couldn't show you in Madden 25. Hail Mary is the last audible. Okay? Goal line is before that, then Hail Mary. If you notice, there are no audibles set in for Hail Mary. And notice the name says Hail Mary, but on the screen I believe it said Hail Mary Trio. I don't understand why they can't have consistent naming throughout their game, because I see that with some of the play names as well. 1 minute it's one thing, and then there's some additional name added to it later on. Make it consistent. I mean, these are some of the easy things. It might seem like it's a little thing, but when you have so many, it adds up. And one that should be obvious to you as well, as I'm going off subject just for a second, personnel designation. You have 5 choices, but yet you only have 4 here. It says 0 running backs, but the Hail Mary has a running back in the play, a tight end, and 3 wide receivers. It should add up to 5. The same thing with this normal play. It only has 1 running back. Now, I'm not going to make the excuse that the fullback in here may be considered is playing from a offensive line position, but he's in the fullback position. So this formation itself shouldn't matter with regard to that. The formation is a 2 back, 3 tight end, 0 wide receiver formation. That's all that should matter. So I'm not sure how they're getting this wrong, because if I look at some of the other plays, they're wrong too. And they have nothing to do with a offensive lineman playing back in the backfield. You've got a bunch play. 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Come on. Everyone knows that's a 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back. But anyway, back to this. If you notice, no audible set for Hail Mary. This is the original set. So if I were to go in here, let's say, and choose an audible. Let's do that for RB. So now RB is set. We're going to go in here and choose a single back play. Ooh. And we're going to call audibles again. And there you see Hail Mary. Now Hail Mary appears in your audible sets because Hail Mary now has an audible set to it. I'll get to that when I go through my next demonstration. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up the custom playbook of the Cowboys playbook. So that was McCarthy. So let's go with, I think it's called McCarthy Demo. That's custom McCarthy, but that's not it. That's not. I should have went the other way. Instead of this way, it would have been shorter. There it is. McCarthy Demo. This is an exact copy. I went into the Cowboys original playbook, said create off of this playbook, and then I saved it immediately. No changes, nothing else done to it. Went in, opened it, saved it under a new name. Okay, so we go to formation. Immediately, I say, you already see a difference in the play. Now, if you haven't, it's because, let me go I formation and go back to single back. Notice it is at ace. So if this is an exact copy, how is it that now ace is the first play to show up under single back as opposed to the first play being wing tight like it was before? Again, these are the little things that add up. You have to look at these and not look over them and ask yourself, why? Why is that so? You really need to ask yourself that because it's important. If you go to a play like this, wide trips, and keep in mind I haven't gone anything and touched anything. I've just basically made this copy. I didn't want to walk you through that whole process because it would extend the video. But as you call your audibles, there is Hail Mary, and you notice the name says Hail Mary Trio. Now an LB is set as an audible without even being set. This is an exact copy of the playbook. So how did LB get set as an audible when it is an exact copy? Let's go to the pause, offensive audibles. If you notice now, goal line is is at the end of the audibles. And Hail Mary now is Hail Mary Trio. Okay? Do you see that? It still has the wrong personnel, as you can see. But this is supposed to be an exact copy of the original playbook. How is this order and things different? It's like I said, I don't know if I've said this before, but it's like if you were to do a copy and paste of some text and all of a sudden the letters come out in random order when you paste it. This makes no sense. And for $1 billion company, this should not happen. The problem with this is it's set automatically, LB. So you can't erase it. You can't delete it. You can't disable it or anything. So what you end up doing is going in and saying, okay, well, I'll make all of these plays. There. Now, what happens with this, and there's a reason for this. And before I do that, as you can see with the Hail Mary right there at LB, that's still maybe from old. I'm not sure if I scroll off and scroll back, it'll be the same. But the way I play the game, because now I want to show you why it's a problem. The way I play the game is I use X as an index, as a reference to the rest of the plays in that formation. So when I scroll, I'm not looking at the Audible screen. I'm looking at my Audible play art that's coming up because I know what those X plays are. And I know once I get to a certain X play art, I know what's below it. I know the running play, if there's one there. I know the other passing plays, if there are any there. I know the other play action plays, if there are any there. It goes with screens and everything based on X. So if I'm scrolling like I did from the other one, and then I scroll to my left, my cursor now has moved to LB. So the play art that I might have been expecting to look like this now looks like this. And keep in mind, this is a pretty fast process. It's not slow like this when you're calling your audibles. I play by audibles. I don't use hot routes and things like that because the game can't handle it, and usually it's pretty you can get pretty cheesy with that, as we used to say back in 2K5 days. So now the cursor's off. So now I got my reference point that's off. And it's like, okay, so now what? Now you have to move up and figure that out. And then you got to figure out, now I would have to take my eye off of that to figure out where I'm at and go back and start over until I find my play. And if you've gone over it, you have to go back. And if you're not sure you went over it, then you could end up losing it out on your Audible. Now, as you can see, the Hail Mary now is X. That was because I changed all of those. So this would keep it that way. So now I could basically go through here and stay on X and go through my plays, and I would know based off of that X. If this was my playbook, this is just a copy of a playbook I don't even use. I would know the Y, LB, and RB play based off of that curls diagram. I would know it based off of the slants, the same thing. I would know all three of these below it. Now, I don't care for this drawing type of play art. And maybe for some reason it seems a little bit different to me, but I'll have to just double check. I don't know if this is part of this momentum UI trick to make you think that the game has actually upgraded in certain areas. That's going to be another video into itself, because I can guarantee you momentum has already been in this game. The only difference is you've got some pretty and cute user interface and art to make you think that it's something new. It's not anything new, and it's fake. But that, again, is another video. But the reason why I'm talking about the play art is because it just seems like it's kind of slow when I'm in the games. And when you're trying to go like this to get to your play, it can kind of slow you down. But that's just one part of the Hail Mary issue that I wanted to demonstrate with you with regard to audibles. The other audible video I'm going to do has to deal with the settings. And that will include the Playbook editor. It will include the pause screen. It will include this pop-up screen. And it will include the play call screen, where you can edit your audibles. As far as what we used to call on the fly audibles. So it's like here you would press an LB button and you would make your selections through here. And you will see some wacky things that goes on with this, if you haven't already. That again should not happen. It's a simple array right here. And all you're doing is selecting which one, and which would have a reference of some type. You know, I'm not sure which language they create this in. It may be C++. But when you select the play, you would then go in and choose a new audible out of the array of plays. So basically all you're doing is pointing it to one of these plays. That's all you're doing. That's pretty much it. But for some reason, they can't get that right either. So it appears that the game is back up and repatched again. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff that's broken that's yet to be discovered. But at least I was able to create this video for you. And like I said, the next one will cover a little bit more deeper issues with audibles. I will also be doing a video in reference to drama cheat mode, where you can see how the game is scripted when you're playing offline. And I guarantee you, if you follow that video and you play it out, and it's going to mean you're going to have to be willing to give up some of the style of play that you play, you will see that the game is scripted, and that some of the things that you're doing is helping you to get around the script. But there should be no script at all, since we've got ratings and all of this supposed AI. There's no AI. There's no adaptive, whatever you call it. I forget the name of it. It's script. That's what it is.